Well, let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so I have the stream is going. Good grief! Oh my gosh, look at this! And my wife texts me literally as I go on the air. It's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm of hellfire. Good grief! Good grief! Yes, Clint, I changed your dot to a 5. I made like 5 things there and the membership tiers, and I'm trying different little things. It's so weird, like emojis that go with them. So we'll see. What's up, Kangaroo God? Clint, Will is here. We got John Harrell, Mel 904, Blue Air, and on up into the top. I think the rest of them's me, just telling people I'm running behind because of the awful, awful thing that happened. Well, it wasn't that bad. But it's just one of those things where I was starting the show and I noticed like the audio levels like were extremely high. It was like 0 to 10. It was like nonstop 10 even when I was whispering. And it turns out whenever I updated the audio broadcaster that I use, evidently it went back in and changed how my Zoom recorder works with my computer, and it like maxed out the input level. It was like it took a little while, but I figured it out. So, we got Frylock goes, yo, 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 what's up, man, oh man. Having a good time, guys. Having a good time, just rocking and rolling. A little bit late. It's about 9:15 start time. Usually it's around 9 o'clock, so it could be earlier, but it wasn't because of our audio problem. I hope everybody's doing good out there. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day. Memorial Day, right here as for our podcast people, I motion toward my American flag cross. We think about the people that fought and died for America that we sometimes take for granted. And a lot of those people, a lot of soldiers give their lives. And with my son going to the Citadel now, he's going to be in the Army, it's really becoming apparent that a lot of people gave a lot for this country, and it is nice to appreciate them. And even symbols are important, I guess, just to remind us how we got here to this point. So it's a pretty cool thing. That's right. The party starts late. The party starts when it starts. So it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. We had so many cool comments on the videos. I was going to do a lot of comment stuff, but here I am warring with the audio problem, so I can't do a bunch of comment things. I can still bring them up here on a separate screen. We can do that too. A lot of people were talking about the Hillmore valve core remover video. Last show or a previous show, they were talking about how the Hillmore valve core removers were crapping out, not doing a very good job. And then that opened the floodgates for everybody to comment on which valve core removers were good or bad. A lot of people like the Appion. Some people like the Hillmore. It's funny because you'll have a tool that people are like, this is the worst thing ever. It's garbage. It's junk. And then some other person will come along and say it's the best tool ever. So how do you know? It's weird. So what's funny about this, and we think about tools, and it's just a little side story for just a second, but I'm going to release a video because I was sitting out here earlier today, and I wanted to compare something. I bought a brushless Bauer impact driver, and I was curious how well it would do against another impact driver and an impact wrench, a Craftsman impact wrench. So I made a video of that, and I think you guys will be interested to see how well the Bauer did compared to some of the other tools that are supposedly better. It's kind of funny, actually. What's up, guys? And Michael Frank says, hey, what's up? I have the Hillmore remover and never had a problem with it. Works great. See, that's what I'm saying. Have guys that say it's the worst thing ever, and then guys say it's the best thing ever. So it's really weird. I guess you get everybody's voice, and you just see how many people had problems with it, because you figure if a product is made and released, most of them will probably be fine. But there will be some that are not as fine. So you have to add up how many are not as fine and see which group has the most not as fine. Yeah. Kangaroo God says, Appion or nothing. Hey, I'm down. I'm down with you, man. Appion's pretty good stuff, man. I liked Appion. I thought they were really good. Never had a problem with my Appions. People said they were difficult to change out, like the gaskets inside. I never had to do that. I don't know. Maybe it is, but they all look like they're kind of a pain in the butt for that. So, yeah, who knows? I don't know. I'll tell you guys something, though. When we play Skill Trade Up in a little while, and it won't be too long because the show started late, there's going to be some fun prizes tonight. I got some level 1 prizes. Check this out. We're going to be playing for 2 Heart products. Everybody's like, Heart? Isn't that sold at Walmart? Yeah, Walmart's like a supply house for life. So there's a impact bit set and the LED tactical flashlight that Navy SEALs use. most likely. I mean, I'm guessing there. We also have level 2, a nice Milwaukee impact ready SAE 3/8 drive shockwave socket set. It's awesome. That's right, prizes. That's right. Third prize, we got a hammer drill with 600 inch-pounds of torque, guy. These hammer drills, even though they're Ryobi, and people are like, ew, they're really nice, actually. They're pretty tough for brush drills. Did a pretty good job. Pretty good drill. That charger, not so much. That charger is just the worst. It's just too straggly and gangly and just not very... It's cheap, basically. It's cheap. You can see it on the box there. And at level 4, you might win a Yellow Jacket digital torque wrench. So we've stepped it up a little bit. I want to make sure we step it up here on Skilled Trade Up so you guys are tempted to go for broke. Or as we say, balls to the wall. It's balls to the wall is the official saying. That's how we do that. Something you guys had asked me in a previous video about the Quick Seer thing. We started discussing this. Couldn't remember who made it, what exactly it was, but we're talking about the Quick Seer Watt Saver. Now, it turns out, and this should have been pretty apparent, it's made by Quick Products. Duh. Quick Products makes the Quick Seer. Here is a picture of it for those of you who are watching on YouTube. The QT6000 Quick Seer Watt Saver. And what it says is recently highlighted on the US. This is going to be like we're the best sort of thing. Let's skip down to say how it works. Quick Seer is an innovative and cost-effective electronic control that operates in the cooling mode of an existing air conditioner or heat pump. By varying the airflow of the blower motor, Quick Seer Watt Saver provides the best balance of airflow for the conditions in the home. By modulating airflow, the total power draw of the system is reduced. This enhances system performance while providing energy savings and helps lower the high humidity level in the structure to provide improved control. So there it is right there. Okay. So I was a little bit curious about this. So I said, I'm going to take a look. We have these instructions here. I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, instructions. There's a lot of instructions. This is the whole form that comes with this thing. And for people on the podcast, I'm going to kind of read through some of this stuff. This is steps 1 through 6. You have to verify it's a PSC blower. That's what they're for. It's not for use with X13s, even a fixed speed ECM motors. It's for PSC motors. It shows you how to wire it. And basically you have 3 blower taps. And the 3 blower taps, and we're not going to get into how to wire it here. I'm going to kind of skip ahead a little bit because you can sort of get a little bit of the idea here. No one needs to know how it's mounted, where the ground goes. You can read that at the time. But this is nice. Number 9 on this instruction says, attach the thermistor to the evaporator return bin near the coil inlet. So you have a temperature sensor near the coil inlet that's going to give you an overall temperature of that refrigerant before it gets superheated. So it is taking a temperature there to make its calculations. So that's kind of cool right there. So it's a cool little board. And like I said, I did put one of these in a long time ago. So it's a little bit foggy, but it is taking that temperature. So it knows when that temperature is getting too low and when it's getting too high. So you can change the blower speed based on what that temperature is. For example, if you have a coil, maybe it's way too high. The temperature is way too high. So you slow the blower speed down. So that superheat comes down, the pressure comes down, and therefore the temperature comes down. And maybe you get a little bit better humidity control in that particular instance. There you go. So that might be a good thing. This is my speculation. So I noticed this thing too says if equipped with the QT6001 Quick Seer Plus humidity sensor, connect the sensor following those instructions. So it actually has a humidity sensor as well that's optional, which I think I would want. I would think I would want that. And it shows you how to wire it too. There's the whole thing with the 3 different speeds. It'll switch between the 3 different speeds. And as you can see here, and I'll describe to podcast people, it's like a go-between between your existing relay and the motor. So instead of sending power directly from the relay to the motor or from the relay board to the motor, you'll actually go into the Quick Seer and it'll decide what speed the motor runs. So the relay will still tell the motor when to run, but the Quick Seer will say what speed to run. Yep. Joe says good to flood the compressor. I wish I remembered how this thing did, but that's what it is right there. That's what it does. It takes those temperatures and makes calculations based on that. Like I said, I don't have any feedback as far as how well it works. I can see the premise of why it works because we've done the same thing in the field. The whole thing is about humidity control and comfort. So if you have some house that has excessive humidity. What do? Lower the blower speed. But it's an intersection. It's a dangerous intersection because as you lower the blower speed, your capacity and sensible heat ratio changes. So if you lower the blower speed, you have less volume of air. And first of all, that's going to impact the duct system and delivery of air. So let's think about that for a second, because this is what I wonder about. This is what I think about all the time. Actually, no, but some of the time I do. If you have a system that has 1200 CFM, it's a 3-ton system, and you size it as such. So it's used to having 1200 CFM, and under those conditions, it has a normal velocity, and it is delivering air properly throughout the home, sized properly. So what if you have a humidity issue and you say, I'm going to lower the blower speed. I'm going to lower it down to maybe 75% of that. So it's 900 CFM. So at 900 CFM and your ductwork is built to handle 1200 CFM, that tells me that you're going to have a lower velocity. Now let's say that you either have a leaky duct system or a duct system in the attic where you have a high TD between what's inside the ductwork and what's in the attic. All of a sudden you're going to be gathering heat into that air. So you have a heat exchanger as the duct. And what I mean, especially for new people out there, you're exchanging heat between any two areas that have a separate temperature. You're going to be exchanging heat. Now, you can inhibit that with insulation, but it's still going to happen. If you slow down the air, it's going to happen more and more. So you're going to lose capacity. So that's the first curve you're going to meet. You're going to lose capacity by lowering the airflow because of the temperature difference. You're going to lose capacity because overall your capacity is going to go down. You're going to change the sensible capacity to latent. And I'd love to study this, but I think that you're probably going to have an overall capacity drop. That is my speculation. You guys let me know in the chat what you think about that, because when you're going to manipulate this thing and lower that blower speed, the capacity calculation for an air conditioner is CFM times 4.5. Now, I'm sitting here having a complete blank now. CFM times 4.5. Help me out here, people. CFM times 4.5. And there's a third one. I almost need to write this down. Here's me. If I have CFM times 4.5 times enthalpy change, right? Enthalpy change. Okay. See, I needed to write it down. So enthalpy change, all that is that's your total heat between the supply air and return air. So as you lower the blower speed, the enthalpy difference in between the return and supply is going to grow. And basically that's because the exposure time to your heat exchanger or coil is longer, even though it's really short compared to, not like it's an hour or something, but it's just going to slow down just a little bit. So that air is going to get a little bit colder. But I think there's diminishing return on that. It's not like you can slow a system down to 1 CFM and it had the same capacity. So at some point, you're going to start losing overall capacity. And that'll do better for your humidity, but you may not be able to satisfy the thermostat any longer. Man, this is a great experiment. I'm going to do experiments just like this. This is what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. Man, oh man. Let's go to our chat over here. Definitely get capacity drop unless really hot and humid pull down. Yes, coil will get colder, remove more water, vapor latent heat. What's up? Whoa. Too many variables that have to be corrected for such an experiment. Colder air in the ducts, longer runtime. I don't care about the variables, okay? The purpose of it is, it's almost a purpose for my understanding as well. To get your hands on this stuff is to understand it. Now, it's not going to be like it's a NIST laboratory, for sure. Absolutely. Point taken. But you are going to get some real feedback on how things behave out there in the wild, so to speak. And I had this happen actually, what day is it? Memorial Day was yesterday. So I had this happen yesterday. What I did yesterday is I had this project I had to do, and it had been put off. My wife was ill, so I had to wait. And finally, yesterday came, and my mother would kick my butt. My mother would never let us work on Memorial Day because of my grandfather's service to our country. She would get so upset, but I actually had to work yesterday. I didn't tell her about it either. I wasn't going to mention anything to her, but she would get angry. If my father tried to send us out on a job on Memorial Day, she would be very, very angry, and I really respected that. I thought that was a great thing. Yesterday, I was kind of in a bind, so I had to take my newly acquired Minneapolis duct blaster out and test it for the very first time. I was really excited about this. I was not excited about what I knew was going to happen while the testing procedure was going, but I was excited, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So I set up this duct blaster, and I'm learning all about this stuff. And I'm watching videos by the Energy Conservatory. I'm reading all the instructions, most of the instructions. And I set this thing up, and I get all this duct saran wrap put out on all the ducts because you have to block everything off. And then you input into the return with this fan that just blows air through this piece of flex, basically, or flex helix, into the duct system and pressurizes it. And it'll know how much leakage there is based on what it takes to reach a certain pressure. And the pressure we're trying to reach is 25 pascals. And I've always heard people talk about pascals, very small pressure measurement, but this is my first experience in this area. So I was pretty excited about it. So the initial testing is, and keep in mind, I installed this duct system. The air handler is old, and I knew it was going to have to be, sealed up. We're going to tape the door shut on this air handler, but I didn't want to do it right away. I wanted to test everything first. I knew there was going to be areas that were problems. The floor boots, the air handler, and there's an unknown section of duct which I can't reach. That was the biggest problem, because if it leaks so much through that area, I was kind of screwed because I couldn't reach it. So, and someone's calling in on the phone. We're not actually taking phone calls right now, but thank you. I was in the middle of a really great story. Sorry, man. But you can call back. So I hook this thing up, and I get to 25 pascals, and there's different rings. Let me back up for just a second. This duct blaster has different rings you use based on how much air is basically leaking. If a lot of air is leaking from this ductwork, you have to take the rings off so the most air can get into the fan, because you'll need all that static off of it and able to pressurize the duct up to 25 pascals. So I started off on the smallest ring, which is where you want to be. No, the smallest ring was just barely maxed out. So I put on the second ring. So I knew we were already a little screwed. I put on the second ring and turned the fan on, and it got up to 25 pascals, and we were leaking 128 CFM, which is about double what the acceptable amount would be. So I was like, well, crap. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to learn today. So I went down and I taped the air handler. And I'll tell you guys, I made a video of all this stuff, so you're going to see it on YouTube within the next few days, this whole process, because I thought it was a great learning process. And I could do without the crawl space stuff, but whatever. So I went down to the crawl space and I taped up the air handler. I taped up the drain connection. It's a Train air handler, an old Train air handler. So it has that recessed section where the line set goes through. I taped over that. I made it into like a flush thing. It's like a one flush piece right there of duct tape. I can't wait to be the service tech that comes back to this thing, by the way. It's going to be awesome. Almost forgot to hit my lights too. There we go. It's going to be one of those things where the service tech comes back and goes, what is this crap? Hey, it has to happen. Whatever. So I tape everything up. I go back upstairs. I even make it so I can make sure, because the drain, it's got the P-trap in it, so I made sure it was full of water so it wasn't blowing air through there. Went back upstairs and turned it on again. Got up to 25 pascals, 110 CFM, I think it was, 110 CFM. So 18 CFM down just from taping up the air handler. I said, well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be able to do something and then test and see the result directly. So I said, oh, that's cool. That's really nice. Yet, we're not there yet, which I started to get a little concerned, because now I had to depart from the air handler and wander through the duct system, which was condensing because of the dampness of this crawl space. Suck. Ultra suck. No good. It's the kind of thing, guys, where you're probably familiar with this, those of us who work in environments where there's a lot of crawl spaces throughout the South. Everything condenses on the bottom of it, and when you try to crawl underneath something, you accidentally rub up against it with your back, and your whole back gets soaked. That's what it was like. It was a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt. So I wandered around, and I saw a couple areas on the ductwork that had to be taped. So I was like, all right, good. There's an actual area I could see where we could get a benefit. So I taped up those areas. I wandered around to the return. And I saw an area on the return. They had panned floors that went up. There's like little joists running next to each other, but there's a small opening in between them. So basically I had to fill those suckers and pack them in with insulation. I didn't have any spray foam or anything like that, and that would be an excellent thing to invest in. Get some spray foam. Gonna probably need that if I do this anywhere else in the future, which I plan to. I think it's a good idea to do it. So I fill that whole bay with insulation. I just pack it tight with insulation, and basically it's just pulling around those cracks in the floor joist, because it's a pan floor joist, and they didn't seal up the edges where the boards hit the where they blocked in between the joists. So after that, I went back upstairs, fired it up again, got down to the right ring now, got the smallest ring on there, up to 25 pascals, and bam, 86 CFM. Went down another 20 plus CFM. I was like, well, that is pretty cool. That's neat. So I did these things down there, and I got that much CFM. And just think about that. If you have a 3-ton system running 1,200 CFM, 128 is over 10% of the entire air volume if you're getting the 400 CFM per ton, which a lot of times we're not. That's a significant loss. That's a big loss. And if it comes in on the return side, that we're drawing in humid crawl space air as well, it's going to be very detrimental to the system. And also, if you were to take splits from different areas around this, which I didn't get to do, because basically I was working on this thing till 9 p.m. I didn't get to do all the testing that I wanted to do. I wanted to do like this whole video, guys, where I did the capacity. We talked about it in the previous show. I wanted to do a lot of stuff to it, but like everything in life, there just wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough time, and it was just a bummer. But I hope, if not going back to this house, I do it on my house, or some of the customers, I still do their preventive maintenances and stuff like that. Maybe they'll let me tinker around and stuff, especially if I tell them, I'm just going to come over and bring some stuff. You don't have to pay me. We'll have lunch together, and I just want to do stuff and film it. That sounds probably pretty good to them, right? But since we are still at 86 CFM, and I had to make it to roughly upper 60s, around 70 CFM based on the square footage. It's like 4 CFM leakage per 100 square foot, I think is the rule. So I needed to get down in the 70 CFM range. So I was still a ways off. I said, what else can I do? And this was, a free thinking exercise because this is the first time I've done this. So I don't know what all to do. And there's people out there that do this all the time that I'm sure are like, well, make sure X, Y, and Z are done because these are common leak spots. So I went to the floor boots. The floor boots are not sealed. I have never really sealed floor boots before because I thought it was no big deal. So this would be a good opportunity to see whether or not the no big deal was the right thing to think. I went to each and every floor boot, and I actually had this mastic tape. Guys, I don't know what it's called other than mastic tape. It's the really sticky tape that's a pain in the butt. The kind of tape you use a Pookie Buster to take the screws out of that are underneath. I cut it in little strips and put it on the boot and taped it to the floor. It went all the way around the rim, created like a little flange right on the top of the floor there. Not far enough where it would show in the grills, but just far enough where I could get a good seal on it. And that took a while, actually. I went to each and every one of the boots, sealed each and every one of them up, and I was like, this is pretty much, it's dark outside now. It's getting dark. I don't think it was quite dark. It's getting dark outside. This hopefully will do it. It's been a long day. I thought it was really cool learning all about this stuff, but I was also like, this day's got to end too. It's 9 o'clock. It's been a long day. I had cut podcast videos, like the clips that you guys might or might not watch on YouTube that I put out every day. I had cut like 6 or 7 of them earlier that day, which took all morning. I had left at like 4 or 5 o'clock to go down to this house, and I'd been there till 9 o'clock. So I was done for today. I was ready for it to be a success and to go on home. I had to go to McDonald's too, and their drive-thru it's painful. It's painful, man. It's painful. Why don't people want to work? I don't get it. So anyway, I digress. So went up there, fired it up again, got it to 25 pascals, and hallelujah, praise Jesus, it was at 67 CFM, so it had technically passed the test. Not a huge amount passed, but it had passed the test. So I was pleased. I was pleased because it passed the test, and I could say to my brother-in-law, hey, this has passed the test. We're good to go now. But I was also pleased because I was able to see firsthand the cause and effect of testing, repairing, and testing out. And I was really, really super stoked about it. I was so stoked about it that I texted Bill Spone. I was like, man, this is great. This is really fun to do. It's really cool to see. And at the time, I was like covered in dirt. I was soaking wet. I smelled. You know what? A lot of times when you're working, you don't really notice it. But I smelled so bad that it bothered me how bad I smelled. I mean, that's pretty bad. And I couldn't change my shirt because I forgot my extra shirt. I hate that. I hate it. But I just had an awesome time, and I felt like I learned so much about it. I'm glad I was able to film it, and I'm glad I'll be able to show you guys what I found, because I'm sure once a lot of you see this, especially you guys who might do this all the time, you might be like, hey, this is wrong. You might want to do this next time. You might want to do this over here, something like that. So I don't know. I hope so. I hope you do. I haven't looked down at the chat here. Let's see. I tape then screw. I know that sounds crazy, but the tape acts as a seal, and that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense to do that. I could see how that would be, especially with mastic tape. I could definitely see that happening. Garrett Rush says those are the best kind of service calls when you learn something new. And I'll tell you what, guys, I've been around here for a long time as far as HVAC, and it's really cool to have a day when you just feel like it's a solid learning day. Because there's so many days out there where you're like, well, did the same old, change the blower motor, change the run capacitor, put in ductwork. But yesterday I felt like it was just a solid day of new information, and I felt like it was just like a leveling up kind of moment. So I really enjoyed it. Icon Alana Bagataga, that's his name. It says Icon in the chat. His actual full name is Icon Alana Bagataga. That's his name. Yeah, I know the feeling. Got my first service van. I was tired of working out of my F-150. 2015 ProMaster City. Man. Oh, I like that. ProMaster City. I don't know what that is. That Dodge? I don't know. I drove a GMC Sierra. Hey, and a Honda Odyssey. All right. Okay, all right. Well, that was fun. What time is it? It's already 9:45, guys. It's already 9:45. So I'll put it to you guys. Well, Nathaniel says, Zach, let's meet in Raleigh and take the Retro Tech Duct Blaster Blower Door class. Oh, man. I hate school, though. But I should do it. That's actually good. I do hate school. But it's a good idea. Who's putting that on? Hey, you got my number. Text me who's putting that on for real. Hey, I love you too, Akanalana Bagataga. I love you too, brother. So do you guys want to do phone calls or you want to do skilled trade up? What do you want to do? You guys tell me. Phone calls, skilled trade up. Put it in the chat here. I'm going to play the sponsor things. Someone's still calling. Isaiah, I thought you were still calling. We're not taking phone calls just yet. So relax for a moment. I'm going to play my sponsor bit, and I will be right back. You guys tell me what you want to do, and we shall do it. Company Cam is the only app every contractor needs. Document your jobs, communicate with your crews, cover your company's butt. Every photo and video taken with Company Cam is always attached to a project, geotagged, date and time stamped, and user attributed. With Company Cam, you can impress your customers by showing them real-time progress, give them a full scope of your work, and show the proof at the times when you need to. Company Cam is also compatible with many, many different integrations, including apps like Jobber and House Call Pro. You can try Company Cam for free for 14 days, so head over to companycam.com to learn more. Our sponsor, Navac, is running a promotion from May the 1st all the way till September 30th of this year, and when you purchase a qualifying vacuum pump, you get 2 free products. You choose 2 out of the following 3. The NHB1 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, the NHB2, the 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, or the NVR1 core remover. So there's 2 really nice free items every time you get one of the qualifying vacuum pumps. You can find out more at Navac Global, and you can purchase these things at TrueTechTools.com, but use our Shop Talk discount code if you purchase from TrueTech to save 8%. Workwithyourhands.com is a web page that hooks up people looking for jobs with great trade jobs. On the screen right now, I just have a few of the positions available in Durham, North Carolina. Service technicians, HVAC installers, there's some plumbing stuff, electrical stuff. Pretty much all the different skilled trades. Jobs are open all across the nation, and there's no reason not to take a look if you're looking to make a move. It's workwithyourhands.com, and you can find links in the description of this video to your next job. This program is brought to you by Yellow Jacket, and this is the Yellow Jacket Wireless Refrigerant Charging Scale, part number 68864. Has a 220-pound capacity, a large platform. It's easy to carry, has a handle built in. I've been using this one for a while. Bluetooth connection. There's no screens on it. You just turn it on. It links up to your phone, and you can watch it from the YJack View app. A really nice and very durable scale. This is the 68864 wireless refrigerant charging scale from Yellow Jacket. Alrighty, guys, where I see that people seem to want to play skill trade up. Hey, that's a good point, Sergio. I played 3 out of the last 5 weeks, he says. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. If we have someone brand new that wants to play a skill trade up, we will go ahead and play. I'm going to put on a skill trade up little interim thing where, I play it right before we play skill trade up. I'll put the link in the chat. And this week there's, you can be winning some nice stuff. I mean, we got some Yellow Jacket digital torque wrench. We got power tools. We got Milwaukee stuff. We got, all right, we got torque wrench. Okay. We got torque wrench. Hey man, don't forget about, torque wrench. All right. All right, so I'm going to put it in the thing. All right, you're going to see the link in here. We'll play. If not, then I'll go have some popcorn and watch television. Either way, everybody wins. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wins. So, it's so close over there. 21 votes. It's getting 57% for skilled trade up, 43% for phone calls. Man, oh man, Billy's down here. If Billy would call in, I would take Billy's call. I would definitely take Billy's call. If you want to call me, Billy, I will definitely take your call. Yes. Sergio, it's funny that you actually need to torque wrench after, you've been playing for like 57% of the people that have ever played skilled trade up is Sergio. Really. It's Sergio. The other 43% is Bimco. So if Billy calls me in within the next 30 seconds, I'm just going to talk to Billy. That's Billy Knopf from the Tool Pros, guys. Good old Billy, man. Good old Billy. Billy, I got to talk to you anyway. I need some inspiration because I put on like 10, 15 pounds back from my peak here, and I need to get fired up again. And Billy's doing the same thing as me. He's trying to lose a bunch of weight, and he's doing a great job too. So I say too, like I'm part of that. That's what I'm trying to do here. My turn. Will says it's his turn. All right. Well, it'll be the first person that clicks on the button. Okay. Oh, it's getting close here. So it says 52% skilled trade up, 48% phone calls. Man, it's pretty close. I'm going to let it go for another minute or so. I wish there was something else. I had all this great stuff to talk about here tonight, guys, but it got screwed up by me fixing the audio stuff. I was going to send some slides over here and bring them up and everything and be real fired up about it. Got a new indoor air quality device I was testing, and I will tell you guys, I have been testing, since we're talking here, I have been testing the Haven Pro. It's like a probe style that goes into your return duct. It senses a bunch of different air quality deals. I hadn't had a chance to send that slide over. It would have been really sweet because it would show that one day everything was fine at my house. It said good, 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 good. All of a sudden it was poor all the time, except for 4 to 5 hours in the middle of the day. So just think about that, everybody. Yeah. Think about why would the Haven Pro say everything was awful at my house all the time except for a few hours in the middle of the day. Just get your feedback right here, guys. What do you think? What do you think? That's right, Josh Hogan. Hit the like button. That's a great idea. So I'm going to get your feedback on that, and I'll tell you why it is, because I live in the house and I'm aware of it. But why would it only be like from 11 a.m. to 3, 4 p.m., maybe a little bit later, that it says it's good? Jeffrey John says today's vacuum reading started out at 420 and decayed to 170. I think that's a high five moment right there. Frylock says somebody was turning the AC off. Nope. Theron Olson, right conditions like live in a 10 by 10 box. Nope. No, that's funny though. Live in a 10 by 10 box. That doesn't sound fun. That's what I'm in now. It's a 14 by 10 box. Dirty condensing coil in the heat of the day, I'm guessing. Nope. It only said things were good, air quality wise, in the middle of the day. Nathaniel's like, what's your question, Zach? Here's the question right here. And it looks like we are going to be playing skilled trade up. Better get the show on the road here. All right, so the Haven Pro is a device that, I wish I could bring up the slide. I'll show you guys next time. It tells you how good your air quality is based on the temperature, humidity, VOCs in the air. And it says mine is only good for a few hours in the middle of the day, like from lunchtime to late afternoon. Icon Lana Bag of Tagger, I appreciate that, man. A nice super chat, guys. If you see what the mean-looking clown avatar just did, he donated to the show, and I really do appreciate that, man. That makes a big difference. I'm able to mail like 2 skill trade-up prizes with that, as long as the people don't live in Texas or California. No one was home. Nope. No, it's not that no one was home. All right. Oh, look at this. Man, oh, man. It's tied up. for phone calls and skilled trade up. Somebody farts on it at lunchtime. No, it is not somebody farts on it at lunchtime. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Super chat's awesome. It makes a big difference here. That's a few gallons of fuel right there. And these days, that's a big deal. So I appreciate it. No one is home. No one is home off gassing. I like it. I like it. Then when it's running, okay. The Hart Foundation. I remember the Hart Foundation. Brett the Hitman Hart, dude. I just said Mean Clown because it sounds better. It's Pennywise. I thought it was Pennywise. Sorry. So the reason is that in that period of time during the day, the AC is running at the highest RPM for the longest. So that is the only time during the day that the device senses that the relative humidity is in the acceptable range. At any other time of day, from dinner time basically onward, on around until late morning or noon the next day, it's always higher because the lack of dehumidification that the system does. Variable speed that it is. So it's the Bosch IDS 2.0. So it's only good as far as design conditions, which I want to say, I don't know what their parameters were. I read it. Maybe it's 60% relative humidity. And that puts it in perspective right there. That means most of the time, relative humidity is well over 60%. Yeah, capacity being used for humidity. Exactly right. So at the other times, it's not running sufficiently to dehumidify. Yup. And Nathaniel says, so I was right. I didn't see your answer, man, but you probably was. Billy, I thought you were... Billy knows Bosch, man. He knows Bosch. He's aware of Bosch. All right, so we're dead tied up here, guys. It's 9:55. Here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to take a phone call. Let's take a phone call. We'll play Skill Trade Up again next time. Unless there's someone out there that wants to play Skill Trade Up, write in all caps, I want to play. Otherwise, we're going to take a phone call. Because I'll save that Yellow Jacket torque wrench for another time when we're all fired up. It's a little bit earlier. The audio hasn't gone all to crap right at the beginning. Man, oh man. That's right, Blue Air, the Montreal screw job. Nathaniel Crum says, is your indoor fan variable? Does it change with the inverter profile? That is a negatory. It is a two-stage fan on a full variable speed outdoor unit, the Bosch IDS 2.0. The Bosch IDS 1.0 would have been a single-speed fan. I have the fan speed down as far as it will go and still tolerate the 10 kW heat strip, which I'm thinking of disabling half of the bank of heat strips to 5 kW and then running the fan even lower. But then we have a problem as far as keeping up with capacity. So it's a man, oh man. Well, Isaiah's calling again. I'm taking Isaiah's call, but he's about to say something that's just earth-shattering. Let's see. Hello, you're on the air. Hello?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hello, Isaiah. I saw you called. What's up?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a pretty interesting call to share with you. I did earlier today.
All right, let's hear it.
I had a customer call me late yesterday evening, late last week, in the last week, and said, "Hey, man, my air conditioning is not cooling properly." And she said the indoor fan was running. I get there, I checked out the outdoor, and I told my father, I'm like, "Dude, she's not telling me something." Shut it down, started it back up, no blower. So I said, okay, evidently the blower motor's not running. Pulled the motor out, and I found at the module it had actually shorted, at a dead short to ground. And in my 6 years since I've been doing this, I've never actually seen an arc mark on a module. But when I started digging into that thing further, somebody else came out after us and unhooked the yellow wire on the communicating board on the furnace.
They unhooked the yellow wire that goes to the variable speed fan motor?
Yeah, it's a two-stage furnace, Carrier Infinity, and somebody unhooked the yellow wire, which is the call for cooling on that on the board inside. It's where the condenser wouldn't come on. So this whole time I'm saying, man, what the hell is going on here? So I said, man, let me look at that board and see. And I found the yellow wire just sitting there dangling.
So I know that when we're dealing with ECM blower motors, you have a yellow signal that's sent. Back in the day, it'd go from the thermostat to the condenser, and it wouldn't stop anywhere else. But
yes, sir.
So,
like
but
I
it
was
also
taught.
goes to the blower motor too. So where was the yellow dangling from? Was it running to the condenser still, or was it just not running to the blower?
Yeah, it was one. The call for coolant was coming from the condenser to the furnace. But the wire was unhooked on the thermostat wire terminal. The yellow wire was unhooked, and I know I didn't do that because we disconnected it outside to the disconnect the pressure switch because it's got the little control board outside that'll tell the unit inside the innate that the pressure switch is open, so it's not going to let the condenser run. So somebody definitely came up behind me and disconnected the yellow wire and looked at the unit after us. So
So was this in the attic?
this was in a closet unit we installed 15 years ago. We installed the system.
And it was variable speed 15 years ago?
Yeah, but it's a variable speed indoor unit. That's what we do when we would sell a system. We would sell the better indoor unit for better comfort levels and better efficiency and better humidity control.
Okay.
And she has a Performance Series carrier condensing unit. So I told my dad, I said, dude, somebody's been messing with my crap here because my insulation on my drain line was cut and the filter I left in the unit was gone.
So someone
So
disconnected the yellow wire when the
yeah, that's
blower was
freaky.
still was it still running
And
on fan
I've
speed?
never seen that personally.
I've never seen someone just disconnect a wire. So
Right, I've never seen that.
So how now? Where'd the arcing come from?
Yeah, they came from the motor module because we had a couple of a couple of lightning storms over here a couple of weeks back. And what I'm thinking is when they had that little brief lot power, started like off and on, it may have damaged the module because you can see where it got hit by something. Either lightning struck the house or something shorted. That's what I determined, that the module was bad.
New system.
Yep. Basically, that's what I told her. And then she's basically got a brand new unit with a brand new module. I cleaned the coil outside, got it up and running, and it was cooling well. It dropped 4 degrees before I left.
Well,
I told her just to watch it, keep an eye on it, see what it gets down to.
What brand of system was this?
Carrier.
Carrier. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Then about a couple minutes later, my grandmother called me across the street and our unit was totally out. Got her up and running the same day. Turns out it was just freaking batters at her unit. So I told her daughter, and I'm like, it's just batters that's bad on the thermostat. And then I could have saved a service call.
Yeah. All right.
But that was pretty funny. And I wish I could have recorded that for y'all because I know y'all would have got a kick out of this.
Yep. If it's interesting, you have to record it.
Yes, sir. As though I turned my back to go in the house to turn the unit off for my dad. The freaking customer's big old pit bull started attacking my dad right by the unit. And then my dad cornered, so I stayed in the house, scared to death.
You know what I would do? I mean, in the circumstances where there's a pit bull and it's going to attack you, I just allow myself to be attacked because then I sue the homeowner and then I take like a year off.
Yep.
I mean, that's you got to take the pain. I mean, the pit bull's latching onto your leg, and there's a chance of death. I mean, but if you survive, you can sue them.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I want to go ahead and
that dog right now, and I'll watch him the door. That dog was like, oh shit, he ain't scared of me.
No, he wants you to die.
Yeah, he does. But good. Yeah, I just picked up a new tool too, Zach. I'm gonna do a video on for you.
All right, let's hear what the new tool is, and I'm gonna play some skilled trade up.
Yeah.
All right, what's the new tool?
Yes, sir. I bought a new field piece meter, and I picked up a little power inverter for my truck, for the work truck.
Now, what's the new field piece meter? Which one is that?
SC480. The one that does 3-phase rotation. I used it on a compressor change out that we did a couple months back before the summer started, and I'm impressed of how good that meter is.
Yeah, that's what the lady at Field Piece told me. Said it was really good. Of course, she worked at Field Piece, so I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Okay, Isaiah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and now you're forever immortalized.
Thanks for having me, Zach. Hey, I'll be in the chat watching.
Hey,
Best
no
of
problem,
luck, everybody.
Thank you, Isaiah.
See y'all next time. Peace.
And now, just like a movie, we're losing Isaiah. It's a different sort of movie, okay? All right, you guys hit the thumbs up button. I'll super chat everything you got remaining in your bank account that you didn't spend on fuel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a quick break. We're not going to let this go 2 minutes with this little thing. I'll put it on for like 30 seconds. And whoever wants to play Skilled Trade Up has a chance to win the Yellow Jacket wrench. So even though it's going to say 2 minutes, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So make sure you hit that link as fast as possible here. I'm going to put it in there in about 5 seconds. Get ready, get set, go. All right, we're back now. We skip past that because someone popped in here. And now playing the skilled trade up this week, a potential winner. It is Justice for All.
Hey, Zach.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm still here.
Still here. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And I hope you are doing as well as you can. And maybe you can make that a little bit better tonight with a victory, perhaps.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We've been we're a little late running here. So we're going to be expeditious with this. You know how this game is played. I asked you a question. You answer it correctly. You win something. You can keep it, or you can decide to leave the show, or you can decide to keep going and try your luck, but you might lose everything. So the very first question I'm going to ask you, it's going to be a gimme question. And it's one of them questions where I just put this question out there because I want everybody to win something. So, are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Here's your first question, and good luck. First question is, what refrigerant on this list is R22? A, 410A. B, R22. C, R-matey. D, my neighbor has 3 cats. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we better go with B.
You think we're going to go with B? I think that is...
Sir, yes, sir!
Absolutely right. That's the right answer. R22 is R22. All right. So what you did was you just won yourself a couple awesome products there. If you got an impact driver, you can use these impact bits in it. If you have an impact driver, you can also carry a light because there's no law against it. And this is the Heart LED compact flashlight. Now you can just leave now knowing you have those 2 awesome things, or you can add these very nice impact sockets from, I think it's pronounced Milwaukee. What would you like to do?
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep playing until just we can't play no more, basically. All right. Uh-oh. Tornado's coming. I don't know what that was.
Sorry about that. We are having storm.
Oh, wait, was that actually the storm alarm?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, well, let's get this before the power goes out then. This is going to be your second question. You're going to win yourself some Milwaukee stuff, and now you get to keep everything you win. So you got the light, you got everything. So let's get this right, basically. Here is your easy question. Which of these companies is most known for making hand tools? A, Navac. B, Hart and Cooley. C, Malco. Or D, Ryobi.
C, Malcolm.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you say it's Malco, and you know what? You're exactly right. It is Malco. They make some fine hand tools, which I bought many of them, and they are expensive, but they are good. So now I'm going to shut the chat off. Sorry, chat guys, because we're going to the medium and hard questions. That is, if you're going to continue playing. Are you going to continue playing?
Wow.
You playing? I say let's do it. Let's keep playing. we're going to shut the chat off then so they can't be helpful, or maybe not. You never know. So, and we're going to be back with the chat after we're done. So this is our third question right here. Level 3, you could perhaps add a hammer drill, battery, and charger to what you've already won, which is pretty good. This is a pretty good drill, I think, for what they sell it for. It's pretty good. So here's your third question. This is medium level. This gets a little bit harder. So good luck.
All right.
What percentage of the time will your AC operate under design temperature? A, 80%, B, 87.5%, C, 90%, or D, 97.5%? What are you thinking?
If I remember correctly, I believe it's B.
You believe it's a B, 87.5%?
Correct.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you say B, 87.5%. The answer is actually D. 97.5% of the time it'll run below design temperatures, other 2.5%. It will be above. It's just one of those things you decide it, and I guess 97 is pretty close to 100, really, when you think about it. So most of the time, no wonder all this stuff's oversized.
Yeah.
Well,
Like a five ton AC on a 3-ton load.
yeah, that's about right. That's 97% plus some. Well, it depends on who did the load calculation too, I guess. Sometimes they vary wildly. Didn't get it this time, man. But you can come back again. Hey, we do this again on Thursday. You don't have to wait long. You can try again if no one else comes on here. And you didn't win this time, so you can just come right on and try again if you want to. Be the fastest finger in the bunch.
Sounds good to me.
All right, thank you, man. Hope you're feeling better. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Take care, sir.
You too.
That was old Will right there. Didn't get it that time. I'll turn the chat on. We'll talk for a couple more minutes, and then we'll be out of here. Live chat back on, guys. How many of you guys knew the answer? Did you guys know the answer on that one? I'll put it back up on the screen here. Take a look at it one more time. Design temperature. What percentage of the time will your AC operate under design temperature? 80, 87.5, 90, 97.5. Kangaroo God says, what was the last question? Oh, I can't tell you. I got to use it again next time. If I tell you what it is, I gotta make it a whole nother question. Man, that's not very efficient. Who's curious about that, though? Who's really curious about that? It would be nice if there was a winner, though. Wouldn't it be nice, guys? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a winner tonight? Wouldn't it be nice? I wish there was. Yes, you get it Thursday. Kanga, you should come back on the show, man, because he's a sharp guy. Kanga's a sharp guy, and I don't know if we're using your real name. I don't know if we're using real names, YouTube, or not. I think I've already mentioned your real name before. I'm just going to call you Kanga. Come back on the show, play the game again. That's not a trick question. Man, that ain't a trick question. Come on now. 97.5. It's the right answer. There's no trick about it. There's no tricks there. Come on. Take your complaints and put them in the complaint box. There's a blue door on it, and the truck comes and cleans it every week. Okay. Operates under. Oh, that's true. If it's broken, I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't operate. I guess it operates at 0 capacity. Hey, that's pretty good, guys. You bunch of lawyers. Look at you. Hey, man. Come play on Thursday night. You guys will win. We have a bunch of questions ready for you. We got these prizes ready for you. I want somebody to win this yellow jacket wrench. If no one wins it, then it buys me a little bit of time to afford another prize. So if you wait till Sunday, I might have something else coming behind that, you know. So that's okay, too. Thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Sunday night was our first members-only stream for guys that are members. You see the little numbers by their name, like Bimco and Clint. Those are guys that they joined the channel for YouTube memberships. We'll do another one of those probably next Sunday. I hated the fact that it was so late whenever it got started. I figured that's a problem, so maybe I'll try to do it at like 8:30. We'll have a members-only thing till 9, and then we'll start the regular show, something like that. I'll try to figure that out. Also, I don't know, maybe we'll all do like a little group hangout at that point. Something we can work with. You guys can let me know that. Anybody who's part of that group, feel free to, shoot me an email. Let me know what you think about that. Of course, this becomes a podcast. What you're watching now will be a podcast on Friday morning. There'll be another podcast tomorrow because I think this is Tuesday. Yep, all day today. It's been Tuesday. There'll be a podcast tomorrow, so we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next live stream, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Place go trade up. I'll get some of that information I was unable to get before the show today because I was working on the audio stuff. We'll bring it up here. If you have anything you want to talk about, please reach out to me. Anybody at any time can reach out to me and say either, Zach, I have something I want to talk about with you on the show. Zach, please talk about this on the show. That's what the show is for, okay? I can come up with stuff, but really it's what you guys want to hear. So don't hesitate to text me or reach out to me. And some of you have, and I'm working on trying to figure out what I can talk about in that area. Sometimes we've already talked about things like the Watt Saver we talked about on the show. Anything, please. The show is yours. Don't hesitate. HVAC Shop Talk at gmail.com. 910-970-0043 is my phone number. Just text me. It's cool. Billy, I thought about that too. Billy's like, do you get a members only jacket? That's the first thing I thought about, was having one of those 1980s members only jackets. Would be like what you get when you get the membership. That's only for the highest level membership, that you get a members only jacket. You also get a Tiffany cassette tape and a Guns N' Roses CD. Let's see. How do you add the person's name to your comment? Frylock says tap the @ symbol and start typing their name. I do believe when you just type the name, because I think when I write HVAC Shop Talk, and I'll try it right now, you guys won't be able to see it. Oh, crap. Look what I did there. I made a big boo-boo mistake. Hold on, let me fix that. I hit the wrong button. It happens. Let me do that again. HVAC Shop Talk. See if it appears orange to me. Yeah, it appears orange to me. So just type the name, and it should appear that way. Anybody else have any other questions? Go smoke cigars at my house. Sounds great, Doug. I'll see you there. And I'd wear a hat. You should do Shop Talk merchandise, maybe. I did that before. And I don't know. I know we're getting a call right now, but caller, we'll do it on Thursday. And that's quite a name you have. If that caller ID is your name, I'm gonna call you Joe. Joe on the phone. Call back on Thursday. All right, yeah, Debbie Gibson CD. That'd be good. Debbie Gibson CD. We'll get Flock of Seagulls haircuts. It'll be great. It'll be wild and crazy and fun. And we'll go watch Casualties of War. Awesome movie, by the way. Actually, a lot of good war movies. Platoon, Casualties of War. There's another one. Full Metal Jacket. Some awesome stuff happened in the 80s, actually. Anyway. Okay. I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I'm going to go inside and retire for the evening. Maybe I'll edit the podcast for the evening. Guys, work safe. It's been really hot here, so I'm assuming it's really hot in other parts of the country. Make sure you're being safe. Tune in Thursday night if you can. Back on Sunday night as well. Listen to the podcast. Like I said, that's my information I gave you a second ago. Feel free to reach out for whatever reason. If I don't answer, it's probably because I got caught up doing something. Just do it again. It's fine. That's, things get crazy sometimes, just like in your own life. Feel free. It's cool. And I will see you guys Thursday night.